everyone. It's been a hot minute since I've done a LinkedIn Live on my profile. So thank you all for stopping by today. I'm Mary Fainbrandt. I'm your LinkedIn branding strategist, and I've added certified AI consultant to my hat, although I'm not wearing that hat today. Today, I'm wearing my networking hat. You might ask, why am I doing a show on networking? Well, I've had some experiences lately, and I thought maybe we need to go back to some basics. Maybe we need to educate some people on the do's and don'ts, the good, the bad, and the ugly of networking. And so today I have a guest. Caitlin is going to be joining me in just a moment. And we met at a networking event, and we have a system of how to network and how to get the most out of it. So we were like, why not just do a live show and have fun with it? So let me bring Caitlin up to the stage. Caitlin.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm trying to stay hydrated because, as anybody knows that is in Phoenix,
I
it's
know.
warm.
I have a
It's
water bottle everywhere I go.
I know. I have mine. This is my. You probably can't see it. This is my old company. It says the LinkedIn Bakery. That was my first company.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Love it.
So, oh, we have a comment over here. I guess I should. It's been so long since I've done. Hey, David. David joined us. Yes. We're
Hi.
going to be talking about some basics, and we're going to be giving you guys some tips. So, if you are already a seasoned pro of networking, or you're new to networking, you have a business and you're like, is networking something I should be doing? I think Caitlin and I can both agree the answer is yes to that. And we're going to give you some really easy guidelines on how to get the most out of your networking. Because I don't know about you, Caitlin, but I'm busy. Are you busy?
So busy.
Right. So if you're networking, I always tell people, they're like, oh, there's a happy hour. Do you want to come? I'm like, is it a business happy hour? Like, are we going to be talking business?
Social
Because
happy hour. Yeah.
right. Because in my book, like my happy hours are for my friends and family. That's my time. Networking from a business standpoint is about being in the room with like minded individuals, learning, growing, collaborating, and referring. How about you?
Definitely. I completely agree with you on whether networking it can be a social happy hour or a business thing. I mean, you really have to know that up front and why people are showing up because if your reason isn't the same as their reason as to why you're in the same room, it's not going to provide you the results that you're looking for.
Exactly. And, I'm a member of the Glendale Chamber of Commerce, which I love. And once a month, they have a social event where you can bring your spouse or a guest. And those are fun to do. But I know that that is a fun night. As a matter of fact, I call it date night because I'll take
Oh,
my husband. I'm like, honey, we're going to get out and socialize. You're going to get a cocktail and some really great appetizers, and he got to go to Top Golf and golf, and then he
okay.
got to go to pickle chicken and pickle and play pickleball. So, but I know that that is a fun night, right? I'm not expecting to do any business there, so that is different. That's a very different networking event.
Completely. I'm a member of the Chandler Chamber of Commerce as well, and they do a similar event on a monthly basis, and that is the after hours. I mean, it's
Yeah.
called business after business. Like,
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I
Business
mean,
after hours. You're right. I couldn't remember what it's
right,
called, but
right.
after hours. So it's not where we're going to try to, pass out business cards, but you need to
hmm
know what kind of networking event it is before you sign up, right?
Definitely.
A lot of them are happy hours, and I went I went to one, I don't know, probably last month because it was on the west side, and Caitlin, you're on the east side, right?
Right.
East to west. And so to find stuff on the west side has been challenging. I'm happy to report there's more great events. But I went to a happy hour, a women's networking group. I'm like, cool, it's going to be business women. Okay, happy hour is not my favorite thing to go and do, but I'm going to go with an open mind. And it's on the west side. And we were on the patio, and there must have been 50 women on this small patio. It was very crowded. I couldn't hear. I was like, what? Like, I talked to one woman and I was like, wait, could you say that again? I was like, and ironically, I met two women when I was on my way out the door, and I stopped and chatted with them. and said hello. Ironically, one of those women just saw me speak last week, and I was like,
Very cool.
I'm not great at names, but I go, did we meet? She's like, I think so. I'm like, a networking event. And we're going back and forth. And we realize she goes, yeah, you introduced, you talked, and then you left. I go, it was too noisy for me. It
Mm.
wasn't the right environment for me. She goes, you know what? It kind of was for me too. So,
That's a good point, though. I mean, shout out to everyone trying to put a networking event together because people take that stuff for granted and they don't realize how much time goes into it, such as researching the time and space, making sure that it's effective for everyone that's showing up for the reason that they are.
right. And if it's a happy hour, maybe it's social networking hour.
Exactly. You just got to know what you sign up for.
Gotta know. Well, I have a couple tips that I want to share. So when I started my business, I'm from San Diego. When I started my business, my career coaching business, I went to like every networking event out there because I wanted to get my name out there, right? And I can tell you, I did it all wrong.
Mm,
9 years later, I'm doing it right. But at the beginning, you don't know what you don't know. And I was just going to everything because I was like, oh, I've got to get out there, which is still true. I still believe networking is critical for small business owners, especially. But I went to like a lot of the wrong things, right?
mhm,
And I didn't know what I was doing. So, my tip is to be intentional. When you're
mm,
going to a networking event, be intentional. And instead of going with a mindset of, I've got to meet everybody and I've got to pass out all these cards, my strategy is I want to meet three people. I want to meet
great idea.
someone I can collaborate with. Ding, ding, ding. Caitlin and I met at
Hey,
the Dames networking event. She talked on branding. I was like in the audience, like, yeah, like having that chatter back and forth. And we
it was
just
great.
clicked. We just clicked. So I met someone to collaborate with, and also her business, the branding and the website, all that stuff. That we're probably going to have a collaboration on that too.
Heck
Um,
yeah.
so I like to find someone who can introduce me to a person or company that I might want to be doing business with, or I should just know. I want to meet someone I can collaborate with, and then I want to meet someone who might be a potential client. So
Mm, love that.
very, very specific. I'm not going into a networking event to meet 10 clients.
Right, right. That's never gonna happen. I mean, to your point earlier, you said you were so busy with networking groups. I mean, same here. I used to network about 60 hours a month, and that's a full-time job in itself.
What?
And yeah, and it was just you can fill up your calendar every single night in Arizona with
You
something
can.
that's happening. But is that something for you? I mean, I love the three examples you gave because just because you're showing up to a networking event doesn't mean you're poaching people, right? You're not targeting people and saying, you're going to be my client. Because people can feel that. I mean, no one wants to be sold. Let's be real. And so people are going to buy based off of emotion and then justify it later. So actually have the conversation, build the rapport, see if there's a connection there, see if they're your type of people. There's definitely, like what I say is a vibe check, right? Make sure that you guys get along and are on the same page with things because you can't just be trying to sell to a community of people
Mm-mm.
that are never going to buy your services. That's a waste of time networking group right there. It doesn't mean everyone in the room has to be your ideal client, but they can be collaborators. It's all about who they know as well as who they are.
And to that point, so the other thing that I want to share with people is to always be open for a conversation.
Mm,
So on LinkedIn, because we're both on LinkedIn, and there's in-person networking and online networking.
mm,
And so online networking can be a little more tricky because everyone feels like you're spamming them, right? What are
mm-hmm.
you going to try to sell me today? But I've had several, but there's several. I've had several spam, lots of spam, and I just ignore those. If you're jumping in my DMs to sell me something and you don't know me, I'm going to block you and probably report you. So
Right,
don't do
40
that because
paragraphs and buy my book.
yeah, or sign up. Oh, David Cause said referrals. Yes. I
Mm,
love great referral partners. So to me,
definitely.
David, referrals are better than clients. Having a
Absolutely.
referral partner, that's someone that's going to keep feeding you clients, where a client is usually one and done.
Mm,
So I love finding someone that I can refer to, like Caitlin and
Yeah,
I.
because yeah,
We're
you
getting to
find your
know each other
power
still.
partners.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you find your power partners at an event, and they're more likely to give you a referral because you can collaborate. So that's how I've almost found all of my team is, they were all terrible networking events actually. And so we had found our people, and then we created a similarity or found that similarity in the experience that we were having. And then we ended up working together in the long run because we complemented each other's services. Now, when you're
I
looking
love
for a
that.
power partner, you've got to find who your clients work with before you and after you. And those are going to be great
Oh,
power partners for you.
that is a great tip. And talking
Mhm.
about how you met your team at networking,
Mhm.
one of the tips that I want to share is, to get that networking buddy. So Jen Drago and I were networking buddies. We met, she came to my networking event, and then she did what I'm going to say, this is what you do, you follow up.
Mhm.
And it wasn't to sell me anything. I'm not her ideal client. Um we had lunch, so we got to know each other a little more. Then she came to another event, and so it was over a course of time, but we got to know each other and decided we both were trying to I was new to Arizona, she was a new business owner. So we decided, let's make a pact that we're going to attend two new networking events a month together, just someone to go with, right? To accountability partner. And why that is a great strategy. And I hope that everyone will create their own networking buddy system. The
I
other
love it.
part of that is when you go with someone, you have to divide and conquer. You
Oh yeah.
can't stay together the
Mm-mm.
entire time at a networking event. Or if you go to a networking event and you see all your friends and you're like, oh, Caitlin, it's so great to see you. Oh, hi, Marianne, so great to see you, blah, blah, blah. You can say hello, but you can't hang out all night together.
Right, this isn't a hangout session. I love the power partner buddy thing. I was just thinking about that. I was like, "Do I have that?" Oh yeah, I do. So the Megans, I call them the Megans. Absolutely, may not need your service, but will refer you. Absolutely, David. Um, the Megans work in two totally different realms. One of them is my social media girl, and one of them works for sales, right, in recruiting. We divide and conquer all events together, and the three of us in the room kill it, and nobody knows. And it's been funny because
I love it.
they all refer us to each other, which is great. I'm like, we must be doing something right because they're like, you should meet Megan, and I'm like, I got this.
Well, that's great. So you have the
Mhm.
trifecta. I love it.
Yes, yes,
I
yeah.
and you guys all know each other really well, so
Hmm.
you can organically, authentically refer each other in the room. So
Right.
I love that. I think one of the other tips that we were talking about, because there's an event tomorrow, right? The prep
Hmm.
and plan. Okay, so you've signed up for some networking events and you put them on your calendar. Okay, that's good. You've got them on your calendar. Pro tip is create a networking calendar in a different color. So I'm like very
Ooh.
strategic. I have Google Calendar and everything's broken down. So consulting work, coaching sessions, consultation calls, networking. And the reason I have a separate networking calendar is so I can bring it up and do my taxes, right?
Ah,
All the mileage is right there.
that's
But
true.
yeah, when you talk about prep and plan, not only like what am I going to wear? Is it clean? If you have a kid, is there goop on it? Or, did I eat barbecue for lunch? Is it on my shirt? Is my sandal? Right now I have flip flops on. Am I going to
Same.
wear those to networking?
No.
Maybe, maybe not. Right? I'm
Time
probably
for
going to
a
put
heel
some.
change.
Right, a heel change. Um, but the other thing is know the location and map that out. And then for me, being on the west side, if I have to drive to the east side, I'm going to add extra time for
You have to
traffic.
plan it. Mhm. And
And
it
then
even went
the parking situation.
right.
Do you
Mhm.
know where you're going to park? Do you have to pay for park? Do you have to take a shuttle?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it all depends. I mean, if you wanna be there on time or not, and how much time is does a networking group really last probably about an hour and a half, or at least the good ones, right?
Yeah.
I would say that one of my tips too, coming from the brand specialist over here is to have an it thing.
Ooh,
And
tell us about the it thing.
what I mean by that is I know it's not today, I'm looking a little bit casual, but I always have a hat and a blazer. That is the thing that always happens.
Ah.
at a networking group, and people have come to know me by it. So now it's another reason for it's another way that they can remember me, if they don't remember my name, because that happens. And it's also because it represents my brand as a whole. There's something always copper in addition to these two things. And so if I have copper, a blazer, and a hat, one of the best things that's ever happened to me at a networking group is some girl from across the room goes, "Oh my God, you're the
It-
girl from LinkedIn," because I matched my floral blazer on my profile photo. And
Nice. I
people
like
love
that.
it. You make an impression.
I'm trying to think, what do I wear that makes an impression? I don't really do hats. I always do
Mm.
bright colored lipstick.
That's good, that's good. Well, I think I used that when you saw me
You
speak,
did
actually.
the
Yep,
red lipstick lady.
red lipstick realtor, yes. So even if that's it could be as simple as that. It could be as simple as wearing, flashy earrings or, whatever you think, the highest of heels, I don't know.
That'd be
But
Jen
something
Herman,
that takes
my buddy
okay.
in San
What's up,
Diego. She
Jen?
wears like big heels. I just um we did a post and she chimed in. She's like, "Yeah, Mary, I'm starting to trade the glittery high heels for more sensible shoes as we age and stuff."
Oh, wow.
David
Well,
Koss said brand. Yeah. So a lot of times I would wear blue, which is one of my brand colors. But I think for me, it's my personality. So I wear a lot of sparkle. Like if I
mhm.
speak, you'll see me in sparkly tennis shoes. It's my signature look. I don't
Well, you
always
have a
wear it because
personality of sparkle
I
too, so
there you go. It's my sparkling personality. I love it.
exactly.
Um, so we planned, we decided we're networking, we have a networking buddy, we've signed up, we've got it on our networking calendar, we've prepped and planned, we know where it's at, we know the parking situation, or if there isn't parking, we have the alternative, right? We know what the cost is. The other thing that happens is people show up and sometimes they think there's food and there's not, and they haven't eaten, and then you can be cranky
Or drunk.
or drunk. Yes. Never get drunk at a
Yeah,
networking event.
don't do that, yeah. People
No,
will
no, no. That is
remember
not
that
a good look.
forever.
One
Yes,
glass
yes.
of wine is good. Yeah, that's a good one. The happy hours, that's not really for you to go get that happy.
No, nope, nope, and
Yes.
some weird stuff starts to happen after that, so let's not go
Yeah.
there. Not the
So
time or the place.
no, I want to tell people, like, if you're prepping and planning and you can see, like, if there's a speaker or other people in the group that you're not connected to, go
Mm,
on LinkedIn and connect with them and say, "Hey, Caitlin, I'm so excited to hear you talk at
yes.
the event tomorrow. I'd love to meet you and grab a selfie." I do that, and then it's content. Like, had a
Yay,
great
free
time at the
content.
event, right?
Yes. I love it.
So,
And well, and
yeah.
especially if you can get the roster or the guest list before the event happens, yeah, do your research because then you can pick who you want to talk to, or who you want to know. Because if you're only picking three people that you want to know per your comment earlier, you got to know who those three people are. And it's okay if you don't meet all of them, or maybe they didn't show up. But then you have a sort of mission that you can accomplish by the end of the night. But don't celebrity hunt at networking
Ooh, what does that
either.
mean, Caitlin? Celebrity hunt.
Well, I think it's a
Do
term
tell.
that I coined myself, but basically when you are I don't know. So say, Mary, you are the speaker of the event and everybody wants to talk to you. That's great. That's why you're here. And if I as an attendee am looking to talk to Mary, but all these people are getting in my way, have the conversation with them. You never know who you're going to meet. Stop looking over their shoulder to find somebody else. It makes them feel
Oh.
insignificant. It makes them feel unimportant. It makes you look like you don't care. And then why would I want to get to know you? Why would I want to give you my digital business card? Oh, and that's another thing, digital business cards. But
Bing, bing,
um,
bing.
some people love it, some people hate it. But I love it. I mean, I own a digital marketing company and it only makes sense that I have a digital business card. I like the one that I use because it serves as a tiny CRM. It emails me, texts me, reminds me if I didn't follow up with you after the event after 72 hours. That's what I needed because I have, and girl, I have an entire shoebox down here of business cards that will one day be on a mailing list. But until then,
I
I'm
just
using this
went to a
CRM.
networking event this morning and came home with these, and oh my gosh, I think I have 6 cards.
Oh, there you
Uh,
go.
I know, and I'm like, okay, now I got to do something. So I have both. I like the digital card and I still carry for people that want the paper card, but
Mm,
everyone should have a digital card because if you run out or a
mhm.
digital card, you can go in and change the info. Like my
Totally.
old cards have something on there I don't do anymore, and it doesn't have
Mm,
my AI role.
there you
So I
go.
love the idea of a digital business card as long as you're going to follow up. And that's, that's something we need to talk about. You go to the event, you've done your homework, let's say you met five amazing people, and this just happened this morning, right? They're like, Mary, do you have a card? Yes, I do. Do you have one? Now, why am I going to ask for their card if they're interested in my services? I'm going to tell you why. Because if all I do is give that person my card, they hold everything.
It's
The
up to
follow
them.
up is in their hands. So I have learned to always ask for a card from them so I can
Mhm.
follow up. So later today, these people, I will be following up, and I'm not going to spend hours. I'm going to let you guys know I have a template. It's called event follow up email. Wow. What? I
Ooh,
have that
so
ready to go.
easy.
Yeah, it's not brain surgery. Gotta love my AI email assistant. I need to name her. Maybe we'll name her Molly
Ooh,
after my
okay.
niece. But Molly, my
Love it.
email assistant, she writes some really great emails based on who I am. And then I just have these, and I always say with AI, 90% to the finish line, the last 10% is you. But I have this template. I'm going to send out these follow up emails. So if you go to the event
Good.
and you don't follow up, why go?
Yeah, right. What are you even doing? You're wasting your time. And speaking of the actual paper business cards, we print as a service, but if you are going to hand out business cards, make sure they're up to date to your point. Don't give people one with incorrect information on it and invest some money in it. If I'm not talking like thousands of dollars, but don't go to Vistaprint. And this is me preaching over here about, online services and how they let you down. But um, show like this is another impression. When you leave the room, this is how people are going to perceive you. So if you have a crappy business card that I can fold in half or the color is scratching off, I'm gonna think that you don't really care or you haven't really invested in your business recently.
And have a
Fun fact
QR
about
code on it,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and another fun thing too is that okay, so you've been to a luncheon or something with a contest. We win this gift card or this gift basket at the end of this networking group. If you get a suede or extra thick business card or a silky business card, it's something that's different than the norm, and you enter that, I guarantee you will win that raffle. And if you don't, I'll take you out to lunch.
Ew, we
But
have a
yeah.
guarantee on the networking show. I love this. Caitlin, you are so fun. I am so glad that we met at that networking event on the east side. That I did read the instructions for the parking because parking was challenging at the event that
Yes,
we
it
met.
was.
And I went
Mhm.
with my networking buddy, and then we followed up and we had a Zoom conversation, and that led to we should do something on networking because we both love networking. But before we end the show, we've also had some bad experiences. Now, mine happened last month again. Over here, I was at Chicken and Pickle, which I love that venue. And
So funny.
I went with Jen Drago. We met there. I was talking to some people, and I was talking about the chamber to a gentleman who's with I guess nationwide company, but new here to Arizona. I'm like, well, let me hook you up. Blah blah blah. Meeting people, and I was talking to someone, and this woman walked up and said, "Here, I just want to give you my business card." I was like, "Hi, I'm Mary." Like it's just like boom. She walked up to all of us and she did this boom, boom, boom,
Oh
boom,
my
boom.
god.
And I was like, I thought that tactic has died, but
This
obviously
is
it
this is
hadn't.
human interaction, right? Like, we are still human beings. This isn't like a robot. I would
Yeah.
like to know your name or for you to treat me like a person.
I mean, who said I wanted your
God.
card? I don't even know
Exactly,
you
yes.
yet.
Yeah, we don't even know
And
what you
and
do.
to be totally honest, this person is not someone I would have asked for their card. It's just not, and it,
Mm,
and it, and it just there's such a disconnect on top of the approach, but the business, I was like, well, this isn't someone that it just wouldn't happen. It was, I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, way to just
yeah.
sounds like a
So,
position of market dominance problem for her.
yeah. So tell us, have you had any like
Oh God, yes.
odd,
Yeah.
ugly,
Oh yes, there's
or
a
ugly or bad networking experiences?
yes. So I was a part of a networking group in Phoenix that no longer exists for a reason. I used to be a member of this group, and we would pay our yearly dues. And one day, I get an email. This is a franchise. I get an email from the franchise owner saying, "President's name here has decided not to pay their dues, and your networking group is officially canceled, and you won't be getting your money back." And
What?
so I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" Come to find out that this person has done this multiple times in different situations to different people, and that was the end of that. And funny enough, I go to the other version of the franchise, the other chapter in the state at the time, and that is where I met my social media contractor now, Megan, that I mentioned earlier. And there's a reason it doesn't exist anymore here in Arizona.
Wow, that's
So
sad.
I know. So pay your dues, people. Member, president, whatever it is.
That's
Invest in
that's really
yourself.
scary. And if you're talking about joining a networking group, do your due diligence and study. So the Glendale Chamber, I'm a part of that, but I stalked chambers for about 9 months before I joined one. Right? I
Mm,
was watching them online because the worst thing to do in my opinion is to join a networking group that doesn't have an online presence.
right. That's not
Right. I,
helpful
I
for
want to
us.
see what is going on, right? What is going on? Are you out in the community? Are you providing, networking groups, networking events? For me, that being out in the community too and giving back, like
Mm,
that's important to me. And so I was stalking this one person because she was always posting. I'm like, man, she's at a chamber event again, and this golf tournament, and then she was also supporting other nonprofits. So I really like this person, like following their path, and I was like, okay, this looks like a really good chamber if this is an idea of the type of people that are
mm.
in there. So follow the
Good
networking
point.
groups.
And
I
ask for
say
recommendations
yes,
if you're,
ask for
yeah, from that lady.
recommendations. And Caitlin and I can be a reference for you. Like if you
Yeah.
guys got any questions locally, like I've joined some groups, I've disjoined some groups. I'm
Same.
very particular. My resources, my time and money. Where am I going to spend my time and money? And it also, I think it varies from person to person and business to business. I'm a
Hmm.
service based business. I think that's it's a little
Same.
different uh, from a product based business or a real estate business. Like there are realtor networking groups where you're
Correct.
referring. And I think that's
Hmm.
great for that industry. But of course, it's not going to be great for me, right?
Right. If
Um,
you're a secondary service to a real estate agent, maybe for you, but
right.
again,
But I'm
strategy
not.
here. Yeah.
But I'm not. I want to see if there were any other, there's a couple other things when you're just starting off. Um, People get worried like, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to act. And I think if you practice your
Mm,
little pitch, what you do, don't
yeah.
overthink it and
No.
be yourself. That's what I
Hmm.
want to say. Don't overthink it, be yourself. At the networking event that I was at today, I was invited as a guest. I didn't know I was going to get up and give a 60-second.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay. You got 60 seconds. All right.
I know what I do well enough, and I've
Hmm.
shortened it, condensed it, and I know what a good referral partner is for me. So
Right. Yeah.
know that, be
Hmm.
prepared always to
And
give
don't read
that.
off your phone.
No, don't read off your phone. No, this was just like I stood and I was the first one to go. So I was like,
Mhm.
okay, let's do this. But just be yourself.
Right, right. And even, I mean, just, yeah, just be a person, just be authentic and genuine, and people will come to you. Know your 30-second introduction, know what you do, because you already do, you just have to put it into words. We can help you with that. But,
Yeah.
and, even the networking group that you attend might be able to help you with that. But just, honestly, the easiest thing I do, and it's genuine every time, but I do find something to compliment someone on. Can be a necklace, earrings, shirt, hair, hat, outfit, whatever it may be. Know in your heart that you actually mean it. Don't just throw false compliments around, but just use it as an icebreaker to start the conversation. It doesn't have to be so robotic.
Yeah. And if you've done your homework and you know who's going to be in the room, and if the nonprofit or if the networking event is supporting a nonprofit, you have
Mm,
conversation starters.
there you
So
go.
get out there, start networking, find a networking buddy. We encourage you to try 2 new networking groups a month so you can find the ones that are a good fit for you. Do your homework, be prepared, connect with people on LinkedIn, and use the LinkedIn QR code. Be the smart one in the
Yes.
room. Be the smart one. Say,
Hmm.
"Oh, are you on LinkedIn? Oh, I don't need your business card. Let's just connect right now."
Just connect right now. Excuse me. And if you're anything like me too, one of the best things I've decided to do is, if you're going to book now. Let's get on the calendar right now while we're standing in front of each other. That's my three, as I like to get three of those.
Ooh, I
And so
like
if
that.
if we're willing to meet, let's put it on the calendar right now. I don't need the business card. I'll still take it, but if you're actually committing, because then they commit right there. And then it's on the calendar, and then you show up and follow up. You don't
Instead
have
of
to
the
worry
back
about
and
follow up
forth.
because it's already done. Yeah. And then you get to meet a great new person.
I love it. Well, you guys, that's our half hour of networking, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We hope that this encourages you to go network more. And we're both in Arizona. If you have a great networking group here, drop that in the comments. We'd love to know. I'm always open to checking out a new networking group. I am a member of the Glendale Chamber. So if you're like, I've been wanting to check that chamber out, DM me and I'll get you on the guest list. Caitlin, is there a
Awesome.
networking group that you want to mention?
Sure. So yeah, I am a member of the Dames. It's actually the event that we met at. And it is a great group for women entrepreneurs. And I'll tell you the reason that I like it is because of the personal connection first. Personal comes before business. And you actually never really see a business card being passed around, but you do make the connection. You still get together. There's still all the rules still apply. But it's a great group of women, and we're actually having an event tomorrow. We'll be off for the summer, but look for us on social media at the
I
Dames.
love that you guys are off for the summer. I think,
Yes,
you know
yes.
what? It just makes sense. Like, I
Yeah,
know my
yeah,
networking is going to drop a lot in the summer,
totally.
which is fine. Totally fine. I have other things
Yeah.
I can work on.
Take a
But
minute, work
I'm
on
going to
your
be at that
business.
event tomorrow too. I'm pretty sure I signed
Awesome.
up for that. I think I
Woohoo.
did. I signed up. Yeah, I signed up for 2 this
All
week. So
right.
I'm like 2 this week, 2
Yay.
next week. So
All
I'll get
right.
to see you in person tomorrow. And everyone,
Yay.
please connect with Caitlin and myself on LinkedIn if you're not already. And we'll see you. Who knows? We might be back. We might collaborate some more. Who knows? Take
Heck
care.
yeah.